Today is the day set aside to celebrate the end of slavery in our nation. While most states recognize the day known as Juneteenth, it is not a national holiday. Efforts are now underway to change that, though. Our Y Guy explains what's happened since Juneteenth was first celebrated in 1865.
To many, it is America's second Independence Day, and yet a great many Americans know little to nothing about the celebration known as Juneteenth. Each year, the 19th of June brings a time to reflect and commemorate the end of slavery in this country. Here's why there is now a movement to make Juneteenth a national holiday. The celebration began in Texas 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring all slaves are free. Confederate states were slow to acknowledge the president's proclamation. More than 250,000 slaves knew nothing about their freedom until the Union Army's General Gordon Granger arrived on June 19, 1865. Former slaves celebrated by reuniting with family members, gathering together at churches for prayer. As they spread from Texas to other parts of the country, they took their Juneteenth traditions with them. Over the years, Juneteenth celebrations have remained mostly within the African American community. It wasn't until 1980 that Texas made it an official state holiday. In 2011, the Georgia legislature passed a resolution recognizing Juneteenth Celebration Day. This year, protests against racial injustice have pushed Juneteenth to the forefront. A 93-year-old woman in Texas is among the people pushing for Juneteenth to become a national holiday. Opalee's Change.org petition states that Juneteenth can become a unifier, recognizing that slaves didn't free themselves. Texas Senator Sheila Jackson Lee is leading the charge in Congress and says it's time for the whole nation to recognize a day that speaks to freedom and independence.